Many people of faith, as well as those with no faith, adhere to some concept or belief regarding the end of humanity. Since our species first developed consciousness and self-awareness, we have been preoccupied with thoughts of not only our own mortality, but what the purpose of our existence is, or whether it has any purpose at all. Virtually every civilization and religion in history has created the story of an apocalypse, an ancient narrative that is strongly associated with times of political, societal, and global crisis. In light of events in modern history and the state of contemporary society, are we witnessing the signs of that Armageddon? If you've always been an inquiring and curious soul, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more enlightening and intriguing content. In a religious context, Armageddon describes the series of events that will begin to occur as human civilization and the world as we know it increasingly nears its end. When it comes to the end times, the Abrahamic religions follow a linear interpretation of events, one following a scenario where humanity enters an increasingly desperate state and begins to face seemingly insurmountable trials, tribulations, and challenges. The word apocalypse is the Greek term for revelation or unveiling, strongly implying that this will be a time when what was once hidden will become apparent and our eyes will be open to the truth. Even if we may not necessarily be in the midst of these dreaded end times, there are still signs that we're approaching them. It's important to remember that the core concept of the end times is not just punishment and retribution, but redemption and justice as well. Regardless of religious belief, everyone understands that countless injustices have been perpetrated and continue to be perpetrated against innocent people. Whether it is through warfare, crime, discrimination, racism, poverty, corruption, violence, or cruelty, it's frustrating to see just how often these injustices unfold without anyone ever answering to or amending them. The 21st century may have just begun a couple of decades ago, but we have already experienced a number of occurrences that suggest we are coming ever closer to the critical final sequence of events until the apocalypse. These range from deadly and irrational wars, conflicts and violence, extreme weather events, and a rise in environmental threats, to drifting away from ethical guidelines and moral codes of conduct, as well as, according to some religious interpretations, the emergence of a global economy. The prophesied destruction of humanity is a dramatic and violent event, and it would seem that contemporary society and modern technologies have only made this more of a likelihood. There are thousands of nuclear warheads in possession of various countries, not to mention the development of biological warfare. With globalization, pandemics are now more dangerous than they once were, and industrialization has wreaked havoc upon the planet with regards to global warming, rising sea levels, wildfires, and droughts. When it comes to apocalyptic narratives, a relevant observation is that they often become established during periods of immense uncertainty and upheaval, and reflect the anxieties and concerns of people fearing the unknown. Throughout history, there have been countless events and occurrences which have been interpreted as signs that the end times are approaching. It could be that this is simply a natural human reaction to changing times and prevalent injustices, or it may just be that human civilization has been approaching its end since it began. In the grand scheme of things, we've only existed for around 200,000 years, which is scarcely the blink of an eye compared to the vast timelines that the universe and divine agents operate on. Even creatures as formidable as the dinosaurs, which once inhabited the entirety of the Earth, had to come to a sudden and unexpected end. With modern science, we have access to an even greater number of theories regarding the way the world could come to an end, as well as engineering some ourselves. Whether through nuclear war, climate change, global pandemics, or biological warfare, the end of human civilization is almost inevitable. Until then, it's likely that we're going to continue to interpret events as signs that the end times are almost upon us. Human civilization is at once a destructive force and a beacon of enlightenment, and it is just a matter of time before we begin to really see the accumulative consequences of our actions, and this could just as easily happen in several thousand years as it could in the following months. The precise timing of Armageddon has always been shrouded in mystery, which is probably a positive thing because it encourages us to be a force for good whilst we still have the chance. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more content.